Hey friends, Nibs again. Wanted to get out and do another video or two, do a little planking out here at the range. Kind of had a thought to do some a little bit hotter loads today, so I decided to bring out a couple of 22 magnums. In case anybody's not aware, so on my left is a 22 long rifle, and on the right is a 22 Magnum. A little bit longer cartridge, quite a bit more speed. This one is a Federal automatch, 1200 feet per second is what it's rated for. This one's a Winchester, and they're rated for about 1900 feet per second. So it is quite a bit more potent. And actually, it's kind of a cowboy themed kind of day. But so the first one I brought out that I'm going to show you guys is I did talk about this one in one of my last videos I just did with the Irma EM 122. But this one is a I don't know what you're thinking. Is it a Henry? Maybe it's a Henry. But if you said no, that can't be a Henry, you were right. So this one is actually branded as an Ithaca, and this one is a Ithaca Model 72. They call it the saddle gun. We'll talk about the history here on this one a little bit as well. So this one, they did make this in a 22 long rifle and a 22 Magnum version. This particular one is chambered for 22 Magnum. Don't hate me for putting a scope on a lever gun. My eyes can't see that well enough to see these little buckhorns anymore, so I mounted a nice Weaver K6 on it. Pretty contemporary for the age of the gun. Best I can tell, so it's got a serial number on it that begins with 73, and I believe I read that Ithaca put the year of manufacture as the first two digits of their serial number. So if anybody has any other ideas or thoughts about that, let me know, because I always like to learn a little bit more about my guns. So but the best I can tell, this is a 1973. So a little bit of the back history now. So Irma works. I'm not sure if it's work or works, but Irma from Germany. They're a gun manufacturer for many decades in Germany. And back in the 60s, they developed this design and began making this rifle. And they sold it under their own brand name, and they also sold it under distributed it to several brands in the United States, and they put their own name on it and marketed it as their own product. So this particular one is, like I said, an Ithaca Model 72. I have also seen an Iver Johnson and H&R version of this rifle as well. Unfortunately, I went a little higher than I was comfortable paying, so I didn't end up getting those, but I did end up with this one, and I'm pretty happy with that. So it does have a 12-shot tubular magazine, and I'm not going to shoot that many on camera here, just to take all day to do that, but I'll probably do like 6 for you or whatever. But it's a nice little gun. Very accurate with the scope on there. Like I said, my old eyes can't see these buckhorn sights to save my life, so it does help a lot having something with a little bit of magnification on it. This is a Weaver K6. It might be a little strong for that, but it definitely is nice. So probably a better fit for it would be a K4. or something 4-power like that. But anyway, so pretty easy to load. Just take the tube, pull it up, and it doesn't. I kind of like Winchester did a thing where they had cuts in the side here that gave a little bit of tension to it, so it would actually stay in place. So I kind of like that. A lot of the guns, they slide in and out nice and easy, but they won't stay up out of the way. So you gotta either take it all the way out or keep one hand on it while you're loading. So anyway, I think that was six or seven, something like that. But it's definitely a cool gun. All right, so finish up with the history here. So Irma made these, started making these back in the 60s, and like I said, they distributed them under several brand names, including their own. Around 1990, Irma went out of business, and the family that now owns Henry Rifles actually bought the, and if I've got any of this a little bit skewed one way or the other, years or whatever, but they bought the rights to the design and maybe the machining tools, or I'm not sure exactly what they bought, but that was their first, the Henry Rifle Company's first firearm was the H001, which is this exact design. I haven't taken parts off it and swapped them back and forth, but I do have an H001, and I've taken both of them apart, and they are completely identical inside. Not knocking Henry at all. I mean, they do a great job. All their fit and finish is perfect. You know, they're really a great company. But that's where they got the design for their first rifle, and then they built on that, and they've done great. So far the H001 is the only one I have, and I really would like to find a few more, maybe a 357. I really would like to have a 357 lever gun. That'd be pretty cool. And I'd like to get one of their 30-30s, I think. So I'm just haven't found the one that's in the right price range for me yet, but someday, hopefully soon. But 22 mags, a little peppery for not having earplugs in, so we better do that just to preserve what little hearing left I do have. So I do have, so I'm shooting just out here. I've got a gong at 25 yards and I've got a gong at 50 yards. The gong at 25 is my smaller one that you've seen the last couple times I've been out, and then the one at 50 is my bigger one. I don't think I've shown that one on camera too much, but there's the 25-yard one. Hear the difference in tone on that 50-yard one. It's about twice the size of the small one at 25 yards. Oh, got one more. Go back up to 50 again. So one thing with this rifle, and it was one of my complaints about actually a couple of my Winchesters, is they're just actually too smooth. So if you're up here and you're firing away and you rack the round in, the way that the Winchesters are, I mean, they feel exactly the same whether there's a round going in or not. And these ones, there's just a little bit of resistance you can feel when the round chamber's in. So that way when there's not a round going in, you can feel that there's just that little less resistance. With the Winchesters, you can't feel it. You always end up shooting an empty chamber. So there you have it. That's the Ithaca Model 72, made by Irma. It does say on there it was made in West Germany, so it gives you kind of another idea of what time frame about it was made in. So definitely you know, Cold War, Iron Curtain type of stuff going on there as well. So but yeah, I did buy it. It did not have the scope on it. I put that on there myself, but you know, it's just there's scope grooves on there, so it's just on the top of the gun. So the butt's in pretty good shape. I mean, it's got a couple bumps and bruises on it, but overall it's a fine little gun. Definitely would be fun to, you know, take out squirrel hunting or even woodchuck hunting probably. With the little scope on there, you can reach out to 100, 150 yards, probably pretty good with it. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel down below, and you'll get notified when I do put up new videos. Also on Facebook and on MeWe. Well, actually, this is kind of a slam on Facebook. I had my walnut and steel channel on Facebook. Very well policed, no selling going on there, nothing illegal, nothing, and they shut us down. So 20,000 members, poof, gone. I do have a backup channel, and we're trying to regrow it, but you know, it really kind of ticks me off. But on Facebook and on MeWe, I have a collectors group called Walnut and Steel. If you want to join, you know, talk about great old guns like this, you know, pretty much on a daily basis, and you know, we have a great time, you know, talking about stuff like that. Another one I brought I'm gonna do a video on is got this old Colt Woodsman, or not Woodsman, Colt Frontier Scout. Sorry about that. And what's interesting and unique about this one, you know, Frontier Scouts, you see them all the time in the store, no big deal. This one is actually a 22 Magnum, but is a 22 Magnum from 1959. So it was the first year that they made the Frontier Scout in 22 Magnum, because 22 Magnum was designed and released in 1959. So they got right on it and got one out for it. So anyway, but that's a different video. So all right, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed my video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.